And welcome back. Well, now that we've become acquainted with pointers and the sweep modifier, I think what we'll do is use them when creating the rear wing support bracket. However, what I need to do first of all is attach the horizontal stabilizer to the fuselage. So let's just select the fuselage, pop into our modify panel, let's go attach and rear wing as we called it, say fine for that. And now if I just close that, whilst I'm at it, I'm going to select this and name it elevator. Okay, that's completed. Right click on that, freeze the selection. I'll just freeze that one as well. Pop into our layers manager, a little bit easier. Front wing, freeze that also. Okay, now then, let's pop into our left viewport, L on the keyboard. Let's pop across here. Select our fuselage. I'm just going to put that into transparency mode, so that's Alt X, and we'll call up our reference material. Okay, so this is a piece of geometry we're going to be creating, and that's the rear wing support bracket. Again, there's many ways that we could create this geometry, but as we've learnt about snap, our pointers and sweep, let's start putting that into some practical use. Okay, so I'm going to deselect that. We're going to pop into our create, over to helpers, and we're going to grab a point. Also want to use the snap to face toggle there, and if we press S on our keyboard, we now activate the snap tool. Okay, so let's have a look. Where do I really need this? Well, I want one helper just there, and there we have our helper there. Deselect snap by pressing S on the keyboard, and now let's press B on our keyboard to pop into our bottom viewport, and there we can see our first pointer, our helper, and this is where we need our next pointer, just in there. And I can see that we might be better off if we actually had the snap on a vertices. So let's deselect snap to face, snap to vertex toggle there, switch snap on again, so that's S on the keyboard, and as you can see it's automatically snapping to that vertices there. So we've got pointer selected, let's create our pointer there. Press Q to quit that action, S to toggle off the snap tool, and let's now pop into our perspective viewport, so that's P on the keyboard. Okay, so if everything's worked out fine, yes it has, we now have a pointer there and a pointer there. Okay, so let's now pop into our create panel again. We want shapes. We'll select line, we'll deselect snap to vertex and go to snap to pivot. Okay, we've got that. Turn on our snap tool, so that's S on the keyboard, and there we can see that it's highlighting that pointer there, so we can say yeah, snap to that there. If we come down, yep, we can snap to that point there. Right click to end the action. Now what I do need to do is just very quickly freeze our fuselage. So up to Layers Manager, I'll freeze it there. So there's no chance of us now inadvertently selecting and altering or modifying our fuselage. Okay, so now that we've got our line, spline there, let's convert it. Right click, thank you. Convert to an editable spline. I'm going to switch, yes I did switch it off, good. I'm going to deactivate that as well. Okay, so we have our line. Now I do know that I need to add a couple more vertices to that, so let's pop into line, vertex, let's just pop down a little bit and select refine. As you can see, when we move over to the line, we have this there and it says, right, do you want to put one there? I'm going to say yes and put one down to about there. Right click, let's end that action there. Just going to zoom around a little bit because I need to sort these out. So click on that. I just want to get rid of S for a bit. Let's say undo that. I just want to move that across there and this one down a little bit. Let me have a look. This one needs to come a little bit straighter, say to about there. Yep, okay. Right, let's pop up to the root in line, and now let's add a sweep to our modifier stack. Okay, so we've got a cylinder. Yep, we can go with that one, but obviously, well, the dimensions aren't quite right. So let's go L on our keyboard to put us in the left viewport, Z for zoom, and let's start having a look at our parameters. Well, radius here, I'm going to increase that a little bit. Let's just try a tad more to about there. Now we can see that it's not matching up exactly, so let's pop down to vertices there, grab both of them, and let's just bring them across so they're about centre there, and then back up to sweep. And now that I am reasonably happy with this, I'm going to collapse it to an editable poly. And now let's pop back into our perspective viewport and zoom back a little bit. What I'm looking for is the polygon on the top, the cap section. So let's go to polygon there, select that, let's just deselect it for a moment, ignore back facing, select it and press delete, then uncheck ignore back facing. Now whilst it's there, let's go to edge. I want to select that edge there, pressing shift so it loops all the way around, and then I want to set a plane on the Z axis. There we go, that should have straightened that bit up. Whilst it's like that, I need to reshape it because this bracket isn't actually circular, it is an oblong shape. So let's just modify that now. Up to our scale tool, I want to pull it out that way a little bit, maybe a bit more, and then opening it up that way. Let's have a quick look around. Fine. We're still on edge, so let's select this edge. Pressing shift, I want to select that so it loops all the way around. and again let's just push that in a little bit there. W for our select and move tool. Let's bring that over a little bit and maybe down just a touch more. Let's have a look around. That's looking a little bit better. Pleased with that. And now we need to repeat the process on the bottom section here. So let's go to polygon, ignore back facing, let's select that first of all, and then press delete. Up to edge, I'll select that edge there, press shift and we'll select that one there so it loops all the way around. Yep. Pan up a little bit and let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so now I need to apply a planar on the X axis. Yep, that's looking better there. R for our scale tool. Let's just scale this out this way a little bit. Okay. Let's go E for our rotate tool. What I want to do is just rotate this around this way a little bit. Let's have a look there. It's looking good that way. It just needs to come back a little bit around here, so it's just on the outside, maybe out a little bit there. Let's have a look. Okay, W for our select and move tool. Let's just bring it out a little bit, just so it's outside the surface of the fuselage. That looks okay. We've still got edge selected, so let's select this edge there, then press shift so it loops all the way around. R for our scale tool, and what I want to do is scale this down this way a little bit. Let's move that there and bring it up touch. Let's have a look. So that's also got the oblong shape there as well. Okay, mindful of the time, we'll come back to this in the next session. Okay, I'll catch you later.